Welcome to another evening of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, Newcastle's #1 film, TV and gaming podcast, and I forgot to press the record button. 1 second.
I haven't seen that alert before. I got very excited.
Hold on a second, I'll just wait for the old thing to... Welcome everybody to another evening of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, Newcastle's #1 film, TV and gaming podcast. My name is Dylan and as always with my co-host...
Mitchell, and this week we're asking you the hard-hitting questions. Who is your favourite film director of all time?
Let us know down below. Let's go. Yes, welcome in everybody. It's another evening of 2C3 Pod. We're asking the question, what's your favourite film director, or any director of that matter?
Who? Or even whom is your favourite film director?
Did I say something?
You said, what's your favourite film director?
Oh, what is your favourite film director?
Oh,
yes.
I like Canon Sharp 762 cameras.
Yes, yes.
Remember that one they directed?
I don't know what the hell you're... Canon Sharp, is that like a mixed brand?
Yeah.
Sure. It is now.
Why not?
Yeah. All right, anyway,
yes.
Podcast sponsored by Canon and Sharp together this evening. My name is Dylan and as always with my co-host...
Mitchell, of course, and yes, we are here for our weekly podcast extravaganza.
That's right. But no, not only that, if you want to find us on social media, we'll get through the homework first of all. Just search 2C3 Pod on every single everything.
Absolutely, that's right. And like you said, everything, maybe your favourite podcast platform.
Yeah.
We are available on all of them, of course, 2C3 Pod. That's, if you want to find us anywhere, socials or podcast platforms, just search 2C3 Pod. Even fucking Google it. Yeah. We're there. Simple as that. And we did have some kerfuffles this week with the podcast being playable on those platforms, but that was just technical difficulties. But now we are back rip-roaring on all of them. But make sure to check out Apple Podcasts, of course, and give us 5 stars over there. Write a little comment on there, and we'll read it out on air if you so please.
Absolutely. We are everywhere else as well, but most importantly, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big summer blowout.
That's right. I don't know why I paused. And I forgot to do our slogan. But
that's
yes,
right.
No,
but if you
absolutely.
are listening to this on your favourite podcast platform, retrospective in time, you can certainly find us live, twitch.tv/2C3pod live. You can certainly join us every single week for these episodes as we go live and we record these episodes.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. And that's one of our favourite parts of the week, getting to interact with all of y'all out there. So we've had a lot of fun with this new concept that we're doing, and there's a few things in the works that we're working on.
Yeah, that's right.
There's always things to be worked on.
I know, there's always things to be worked on, and executive decisions about this show are always made 30 seconds before we go live.
No, exactly, that's right. And then we're confused. Are we doing that now?
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, so yes, ripping into this week's question straight off the bat. Oh, do we want to mention merch at all?
Oh, we can do a little bit. Yeah,
we'll do cheeky merch.
Yeah, a little bit of cheeky merch. If you do want to support us, you can find a t-shirt, a fridge magnet, a mug,
frig magnet,
regular kitchen appliances, all 2C3 Pod branded over on tpublic.com. Oh, wow. tpublic.com and redbubble.com.
Might get a bit sticky there, but you definitely persist.
It'll be worth the washing
wait.
machines, it'll wash all that out of your clothes. Anyway, but not only that, if you do want to support us additionally as well, we do have a Patreon set up where you do get additional bonus episodes every single week, along with the exclusive recording of this uploaded there as well, among other things. And now we've only opened it up to 2 Patreon levels. One. Just the one, but just it's $2.
Yes, one simple level. That's right. Only $2 will get you all of that. No more $5 level. And to any of those $5 level patrons that are listening right now, head on over there, change it, save yourself a few buckaroos.
That's right, but you still maintain the same amazing benefits that you received before.
Oh, that's right, exactly. It's so simple, and not only that, you are a fucking hero, and you get a shout out at the end of the show as well. All of that goodiness. I mean, come on.
That's right. But
and you control our content over there as well. You tell us what to make for you, and that's why we're doing trivia right now. Yeah. Because the last suggestion we had was do some trivia. Yeah. All right, you've got fucking 4 weeks of it.
That's right.
But become a patron and go, bye-bye, mother duck. Now I'm going to tell you them what to do.
That's right. But we also do additional, movie reviews as well. If you recommend a movie that you'd like us to watch and talk about specifically on the Patreon episodes, or an episode of a TV show, we will check it out.
Oh, no doubt.
And we'll certainly review it. The last one we did was Encino Man, I think it was.
Oh, there was Encino Man. Oh, did we end up doing... No, the Slam and Salmon.
We did do the Slam and Salmon as well.
Slam and Salmon.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it could be any kind of obscure movie or TV show or something like that. Yep. We'll check it out. We'll review it for you. All that jazz. But that's for the Patreon heroes.
Yeah, that's right. But getting into the meat of the bones of this episode this week.
The meat of the bones.
The meat of the bone, or the bone of the meat, however you like to call it. Anyway, what's your favourite... who is your favorite director? I keep going, what? Did I put that in the title this week?
I hope
no,
you did.
It is who is your favorite director.
Good. All right, you had grammar for a second. That's
I did, yeah. So who is JTWS in the house? Who is live? 2C3 Pod, 2C3 Pod party time. Excellent.
I just realised who this is.
Who is this?
Jimmy? Is that you? I think that's Jimmy.
I'd be laughing if it's not Jimmy.
No. I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy. If I'm not mistaken as well, Jimmy Tawakari Steele. I'm 95% sure. I just clicked right then, but yes, party time, excellent.
Yes, excellent. So Jimmy's in the house.
There you go. Exactly. Yes.
That's
Thanks
right.
for popping in, Jimmy.
If you're listening to this later on YouTube or Podbean, Spotify, all of those places,
of course,
you can be a part of this, as Jimmy is right now. Welcome in, Jimmy. Please let us know in the chat below. Who is your favorite director, or some of your favorite film directors, or video game directors, or porn film directors, whatever your preference is. Let us know
maybe
down below.
Commercial directors, who knows, or music video directors. Yes, anything. But anyway, I think my list is a little bit more girthier than yours.
Oh, is it?
A little bit, it goes around. But anyway, so I might hit you first with one.
Okay, but I've just got one comment in the chat from my wife. What is in my Coke, Dylan? Not sugar, that's for sure.
Oh, look at that. Got a cheeky plug in there. You got a cheeky plug in. No Coke and the sugar. That's good. Anyway, all right. So the first one that I wanted to touch on, one that has God, I just love basically everything he's ever done. David Fincher.
Oh yes, of course.
I absolutely adore David Fincher, of course. I mean, how could I not? Considering he directed my favorite film ever, Fight Club.
Oh yes,
yes, exactly.
Wait, what? Never heard of that before.
Oh, shut the fuck up. For a second there, I was like, don't give me a Memento or Christopher Nolan moment and make me panic and
dude, it's fine. We've talked about this before. I'm just going under the age-old joke of you don't talk about it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I will talk about it.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan.
But, of course, he's been around the block so many times, so many goddamn times, of course. Fight Club, my favorite film of all time, so how could I not include him in the list? But not only that, Seven as well, Zodiac, which is fantastic. Have you seen Zodiac?
I think so. That's the thing with David Fincher films. I think I've seen a lot of these over the years, but I think I've only ever watched like half of them at a time.
Oh, that's terrible.
Just because of I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time when they've been on.
Oh, that's terrible.
I've been telling myself to do this for a lot of different films over the years, but I need to sit down and just watch them all.
Yeah.
You know, so.
No, and also Social Network.
I've seen Social Network,
exactly. And of course, Gone Girl.
Gone Girl is amazing.
Exactly, that's right.
Speaking of Gone Girl, there is a movie that's out at the moment on Amazon Prime, which we reviewed for Trailer Park a little while ago, starring Rosamund Pike from Gone Girl.
Okay.
I Care a Lot. Remember, she inherits money from old people that she marries or whatever, or it becomes their legal guardian. And one of the people that she gets the money from, like an older person who dies, has ties with like a criminal ring.
Okay.
We reviewed it for Trailer Park, and it's out now. And I just keep reminding myself to watch the film, but you've just reminded me about it because Rosamund Pike is in Gone Girl. What an amazing performance by everybody in that movie, right?
No, absolutely, absolutely love that, and it makes me really want to check out right at the end of last year's Mank, if you remember that one, the black and white trailer one.
That's with Gary Oldman?
Yes, absolutely. So, David Fincher is probably at the top of my list, honestly, as in just for the unique, what's the word I'm thinking of? The resume.
Yes, of course.
And it almost seems like every single film that he directs is just knocked out of the park,
For sure.
So I'm going to give a special shout out there to, David Fincher. I absolutely adore the man.
Excellent. I'm going to give a shout out to one that's been, and as soon as I didn't actually write any of these down until we just went live. And I had a few in mind, but now they're all coming to me, right? So I'm going to make a special shout out straight off the bat of the film director who's made two of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, here we go.
Paul Verhoeven.
Oh, of course.
Famous for Showgirls.
Oh,
that was I'm pretty sure that was one of
boobs.
his. It's one that I haven't seen, but I'm pretty sure that was the one that almost killed his Hollywood career. But anyway,
killed it. Nah, man.
I know he didn't. It's one of his most revered films. Anyway, Paul Verhoeven, famous for Robocop and also Starship Troopers and Total Recall. Three films from the same era, which I've loved absolutely dearly ever since I laid my eyes on them so many years ago. I fucking love Paul Verhoeven's directing style. All of his films share a same thematic archetype, essentially. They're all very similar in a lot of ways. If you watch Total Recall, you can tell it's from the same guy who did Starship Troopers and from the same guy who did Robocop. There just seems to be common themes stretched throughout, and he was an absolute master of what's the word I'm looking for, where something it's escaped me now, Have you seen Robocop?
Yeah,
not for a very long time.
Yeah,
satire.
Okay.
Satire. Yep. So, the Total Recall, Robocop, and Starship Troopers all have incredible underappreciated satire at the time, which people look at retrospectively 20 years later and understand. But at the time, thinking that was his genuine belief, and people didn't really quite understand that.
But, I feel like there's one that you're missing from his career that a lot of people will know just as well as the other ones. Basic Instinct. Basic Instinct is one. It's definitely
Sharon
a great
Stone.
movie. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's famous for that scene.
Yeah, very groundbreaking in that sense, That was something that had not been seen on a literal big movie screen before,
That's right. It's not one that I grew up with. I'm more about the science fiction action.
I didn't grow up with it. Fuck me if I did. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can say the same about Robocop, right? And all those other movies.
True, exactly.
Like people's heads get decapitated in like Starship Troopers and Robocop, they get blown to bits. So
and Showgirls.
And Showgirls, yeah, that's right. So Paul Verhoeven is I think, even at the time, in his heyday, was a very underappreciated director. He's done many amazing films over the years.
How about the old Kevin Bacon Hollow Man?
Hollow Man is another... Oh, of course, how did I forget? Hollow Man is another one of my favourite movies. Hollow Man is so underrated as well. People hate that movie. It's fucking fantastic.
It's really good.
That is a science fiction take on The Invisible Man, obviously. It doesn't say that it is, but it is. Like, thematically it is.
Oh, 100%. It's Invisible Man, just, done with a little bit of a sneaky sexual assault in there.
Yes, don't mind a bit of sneaky sexual assault in my movies. Yeah,
when it's consensual. When it's consensual, people.
Is it ever? It's a movie. It's a movie. Rewind. Anyway, I don't like that. But
so you like Paul Verhoeven, you say?
I do like Paul Verhoeven. Yes, absolutely. Do you have another, or do we have any in chat that we need to address just yet?
No, not right at this moment. But I will jump over to Instagram where we posted earlier. 2C3 Pod, of course. Check that out. Tyler Gunn, good friend of the show. He had a wonderful point.
That
now,
son of a bitch.
Did you see? Absolutely. Did you see that comment that he made?
No, not yet.
Okay, all right. Now, it was a very well thought out comment about this subject, and I'm just going to read it in verbatim because
our friend Tyler Gunn is a huge fan of film.
Oh
like
my
as
God,
much,
yes.
if not more than we are. So I definitely take what he has to say on board.
Absolutely. And when he said it, I was like, okay, he's setting us up for some disappointment here. But then, but then he hit me with it as I was reading, and I'm like, really? But it makes sense. All right. I've put a lot of thought into this, comparing each director and their films. If I were to pick a director as my favorite, basing it on the percentage of their filmography that I love, then funny enough, my number one is, and I know you're going to hate this, Michael Bay. All right, hear me out.
Yuck. Okay.
All right, hear me out. In coming to this conclusion, I looked at my favorite directors and their films, and I found that most of them I've only enjoyed about a quarter of their films or so. But then I got to Michael Bay, and it is banger after banger up until more recently.
Yeah.
But to shout out my favorites as well, and then he's got a list of very accomplished, approved directors. So, by that logic, I mean, the logic is, it's not flawed.
No, that's the thing. Like, let's say, for example, that like going off the track of last week's episode where we talked about our guilty pleasures. You might say that Transformers 1 is amazing, but all the other ones suck. But then you look back and go, I really liked Pearl Harbor. I really liked these other films, all that he's produced or directed. That makes sense. If you look at it from a quantity perspective, if you think that majority of their resume you've enjoyed, that makes total sense. I haven't looked at my list from the perspective of how many have they made.
Yes.
Because a lot of them on my list haven't made that many.
No, that's exactly right. I look at somebody like David Fincher and I'm like, I could use that same point for him, but at the same time, all of his films are bungers, like in my opinion, of course, everyone's opinion is different, but Michael Bay, I mean, you immediately, he is the butt of so many jokes, and deservedly so.
I
mean, deservedly
Michael
so.
Bayisms,
But by that logic, if we're looking at just straight up enjoyable cinematic flicks, like as in, ones you sit down and just enjoy at least once off, they don't have to be the greatest movie in the world. I get the point, man.
Yep.
I get the point as well. I mean, you look at something like Armageddon, I understand where he's coming from with that. And as much as it pains me to say Tyler Gunn's correct,
a lot of those high-octane action movies early on in Michael Bay's career are absolutely solid.
Yes.
And I will always, hands down, rate Transformers 1 and most of 2 and parts of 3 really fucking good.
Yeah.
After that, rest is history. Like, get that shit out of here. Even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot that was produced by Michael Bay was still had Michael Bay-isms, and I'm just like, this movie's giving me a fucking headache.
Yeah.
But, the dude knows he's a he's almost like, who am I trying to think of right now? Zack Snyder.
Oh, yeah.
In the way that, say what you want about his actual storytelling, I think Zack Snyder himself is an absolute masterful director and storyteller. We'll talk about that in a moment. But in terms of visual storytelling and having a vision of special effects and what he wants on screen, he's an absolute master. How the fuck do you set up an entire block's worth of buildings for an action sequence and just imagine what the fuck's going to go in there?
That's true.
And then later on making it work.
Yeah.
God damn it, that dude has an imagination and a half. So say what you want about his movies, but I rate that answer. I think Michael Bay is one of the ones that, fair enough, a lot of his later movies...
If he had just said Michael Bay, we would have laughed at him.
Would have been like, shut the fuck
non-stop.
up. But there's absolute context there.
No, absolutely. And going through Michael Bay's earlier career, like as in he was a video film director for so many years, but then you look at his feature film debut, Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Okay? Then
Bad Boys is great.
Exactly. The Rock, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, Bad Boys 2.
So The Rock is Sean Connery, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yes, exactly. So The Rock, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, Bad Boys 2, and then you've got The Island. Take it or leave it.
Shia LaBeouf?
No, The Island, I believe, was Ewan
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Yes, exactly. The Island, and then you got Transformers, and then Transformers, then Pain and Gain as well. Like
That's another one I haven't seen.
No, but it was actually good for what it was. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and then another Transformers, of course. Yeah, 13 hours, Transformers again.
Another one,
and then 6 Underground.
Yeah,
so that's what. No, but that's what I mean. You take out those Transformers sequels and 6 Underground.
Yep.
Fucking not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You could almost say the same for Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even though his movies have been fairly schlocky, and I looked at his resume the other day because he's recently obviously produced and directed Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And most notably famous for the Resident Evil series.
Yes, of course.
You look at his film resume, and this isn't by far like my favorite. He's not on my favorite list because he's done a lot of great movies, but it's weird to think that majority, like 90% of his resume are video game adaptations.
That's true.
You've had Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and then Monster Hunter.
Yep.
But one of my favorite movies of all time is an original story of his, and I just wish he would do more original stories because it's an absolute banger. Event Horizon.
Oh, right.
Event Horizon is the best Resident Evil / Doom / Dead Space movie that we'll ever get, and it's not based on a video game property. It's an entirely original idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Event Horizon, Paul W.S. Anderson. Everything else he's done has been like big blockbuster action, but it's just like, get over it. You know, like, just tone it back a bit, be more original.
Oh, yeah, that was the Sam Neill.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sam
of course,
Neill,
of course.
Florence Fishburne, a bunch of other A-list actors.
Yeah.
Definitely underrated for its time.
Dope.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Do we have any more that you want to talk about?
Sorry, I'm just trying to read that one that Jimmy has put in chat there, and I don't want to fuck it up there.
Fellini.
Oh, okay, just knocked it out of the park.
I'm taking a stab in the dark here.
All right, yeah. Well, are you looking that up right now?
I am.
All right,
yes.
perfect. We'll address Notice. Hey, Notice. Thanks for jumping in chat.
Welcome, Notice.
Michael Bay, making fun of Michael Bay there.
Yep.
Insert GIF that will not be posted in Discord. But anyway, there was another one that I wanted to touch on. Of course, we've got so many that we could touch on, including like one of our boys, James Wan. I mean,
James Wan.
The levels that man has ascended to from his humble Melbourne University beginnings.
That's right.
Why did I say Melbourne?
Melbourne.
Yeah.
What are you, American? Going back to Federico Fellini, I'm going through his filmography.
IMDb?
Yeah. Well, actually, his wiki, just to get the full list.
Oh, of course.
As a screenwriter as well, I don't recognize any of this stuff.
Oh,
so,
really? Oh,
yeah.
right.
I mean, I'm not to say that that's not, he's not popular. It's just nothing that I have seen specific. And it looks like his last film direction was The Voice of the Moon, and that was in 1990.
Oh, wow.
So it hasn't been around for a while. This dude started very early. His first directing credit was in 1950 called Variety Lights.
Yeah, right.
But not one that I'm familiar with. But moving on to another big hitter.
A lot of 50s and 60s films. Sorry, Jim, we're just not as cultured as you are.
Yeah, for sure.
I apologize for letting you down there, but
Speaking of another big hitter in the directing world, who has produced a lot of my favorite movies over the years, but lately I've kind of had a bit of a sour taste in my mouth about. I bet you can I'll give you one guess. Who's produced amazing films in the past, specifically horror science fiction films, and has recently left a bad taste in my mouth.
I don't want to keep the podcast dead air too much. What is his name? Jesus Christ.
No, it's not Jesus Christ.
No, okay. Well, he's done some terrible things.
That's right.
His direction of that Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna...
Okay, James Cameron.
Oh, of course. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. No, yeah.
James Cameron.
I should have got that, yeah.
I recently watched, like, on YouTube before recording tonight, like, it was like a 10-minute clip on YouTube of the final scene of The Terminator.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck me. That was like his second movie. And it's amazing. Like, that film is amazing. Terminator 1 and 2. And then you have Aliens. Yeah. Like, God damn it. That dude in his heyday was absolutely magnificent director and storyteller. And then you have Avatar, which obviously, for the time, 2009, 2010, was an absolute cinematic masterpiece.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'm just kind of sick of him at the moment, though, because of the whole Avatar 2 thing and the cinematic slate, how he's re-released Avatar and...
Dude, I told you. I know we discussed it, but I mean, we literally on the podcast, check the archives if you don't believe us, download all the episodes, please. It helps us out a lot.
Please do,
no, but yeah, we called that as soon as Endgame overtook it, and then Endgame was right at the end of their run, right at the end, and they just scraped over, and it was 7 million.
Yeah.
And that was that week where we both just were like, they're going to re-release.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought it was coming for the anniversary, but they resisted that temptation.
I thought this was going to come out...
Yeah, the end of 2019, the anniversary, but no, they resisted.
Right, we're pulling this pin out the wall to talk about Avatar for a second.
I was going to say, we put a ban on that name until there was actually a trailer for number 2, but I fucked up a few weeks ago and just said the name and went, but no, we need to pull that out. All right. Okay, so why? Why did they re-release it now? Like, why?
I know,
especially when cinema's fucked at the moment.
They only released it in China. And the Chinese market, obviously, for cinematic money-making purposes, is massive.
Exactly. So We've spoken about their box office.
I thought they were going to do a re-release of Avatar in cinemas closer to the sequel release, and they may still do that.
I think they will.
But in saying that, like, give Marvel another 10 years when the next big event is coming up, and they'll just put fucking Endgame back on for a week.
No, I know, but the difference there that's in... Oh, I think they will, but the difference there in Avatar's favour is this is still... as of now, as of this last decade, a one-off film.
Oh,
if they put Endgame back in, they're expecting people to have watched the previous 3. Yeah, like as in they're expecting people to have gone and rewatched those to gear up for that. And there will be some that do that. Yeah. But Avatar by itself can go there and old biddies with their pension money can go down there and go, oh, let's go and see a unique film, They don't have to sit down for 12 hours beforehand to prep for this one. So that's got that in its favour. So I honestly think with the Avatar 2 coming out, and they will re-release it again because they've only done it in China so far, they're going to do it globally. Yep. I firmly... And I'm saying this right now, and hold me to it. I think Avatar will hold on to number 1
for a long time.
And Endgame won't get it back.
Well, I don't think they will either.
Endgame will get it back.
Because remember, Endgame did a re-release with like 10 extra seconds of Hulk, whatever.
Yeah, just to scrape over the line. Over the line. And that was at the height of its popularity.
That's right. And this is purely, hey, James Cameron, I still have the biggest dick.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're both Disney properties, and we've talked about this, regardless of what you say about the build-up. Yeah, Marvel had 10 years worth of movies, as where Avatar was one single thing. We get it. Yeah. It's a massive success. Yeah. But God damn it, don't you have enough money?
No, exactly.
Like, surely, come on, man. No, but it's such a wank fest. It's an absolute wank fest.
Do you remember? I was literally about
Jim Cameron sitting in the back of his chair going, fuck yeah!
No. I was literally about to reenact the scene of when... Do you remember when he posted that post saying about Avatar sinking the Titanic and it took a universe to sink it, blah, blah, blah? Yeah. And was very humble. When he was posting that, I'm reading it out to his secretary. He was laying back in his chair. He was there saying, all right, take this down, Emma. Yeah. You've done well in that. And his other hand is just hovering above re-release button.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just sitting there going, yeah, no, it took a whole universe to, sink a Titanic and, Avatar. Enjoy it. Yeah. And he was just sitting there just like, we're going to get it back. It's fine. He's like, that's fine. Yeah. So,
but going back to favorite...
I do firmly think that Avatar will hold on to this and Endgame won't catch it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to favorite directors though. Yes. Jim Cameron, is an amazing director. Who do we have there?
No, just watch me reclining back going,
oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
YouTube content, baby.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Fuck. Hello, Instagram.
Yeah. So going back to Jim Cameron's career, he started out with, Piranha 2 and then worked on Terminator and created that franchise and then came through with Alien 2, Aliens. And then went from there. But the dude just had such a visionary passion throughout his entire career.
Oh, yeah.
And has made some magnificent films. But me personally, some of my favorite movies of all time came out of this man. And I just wish that he would continue to consistently put out new IPs. Obviously, he can do what he wants. He can work on Avatar 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I just wish he would come back and do more grounded, realistic versions of like certain stories that he's got wrapped up. Anyway,
yeah, I totally get that. Somebody who came from those types of roots. I mean, it'd be nice if he'd actually focus on that, and actually focus on what made him get to where he got.
That's right.
But at the same time, when you make something like Titanic, you kind of set yourself up for, this is what I'm making.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the type of film I'm
making nothing but grand scale, absolute epics.
I'm making nothing except the greatest fucking box office films of all time. That's my job now.
Yeah,
that's my job.
Right.
And he learned it, man. The deal that he made with Avatar is just so fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
About the percentage of box office earnings he gets and merchandise and all that. The money that he made, oh God, it's just...
Yeah, that's right.
God. Yeah, and especially the first Avatar being made for $237 million, and you think about it, how much it's made.
Oh, yeah.
Off just movie and then merchandise and shit like that, and how much percent goes straight in James Cameron's pocket.
Yeah.
God, his taxes must be ridiculous. Fuck, I hope he's got he would have an accounting firm, not a team, not a one person, a firm. Just
absolutely.
For James Cameron accountants.
Yeah.
One client.
You got any more?
No.
You can't think of any more directors?
Not off the top of my head. No. I knew that there was at least one on Facebook. Oh, that's right. We had a second Mother Duck on Facebook point out
Tarantino,
and there was another one as well. I'll look that up. But yes, no, Tarantino. Let's talk about Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino is an incredibly unique director, and he's somehow managed to make an incredible career in Hollywood just doing his own thing.
Oh yeah,
and not like selling out. It doesn't feel like he's sold out in any way at all.
No. Yeah, no. You look at his whole career and it's purely, he's like, I'm making what I want to make.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's right. And each film is very similar in a lot of ways, especially with the cinematic style, the directing, the editing, the dialogue.
Oh.
But I remember watching a video of, it was a video or an audio clip recently of him just blowing up to some reporter about some topic. Do you remember years ago there was there was a particular interviewer talking about why his film has so much violence?
Yes.
And his response was, because it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
I think this new one, he was talking about Mission Impossible or some sort of modern action film where he was going, this is fucking amazing. This is great. It's cinema, but he was just, he's such a passionate dude.
Yeah.
And he has respect for other films as well. And I love that.
One of my favorite things about Tarantino is the logic. He has logic behind it. I swear there was one where a white reporter a black reporter came at him for Django using the N-word so many times.
Yeah, that's right.
And I believe it was him, and then I think Jamie Foxx was there as well. And they both kind of just destroyed the question. It was something that is very okay, so why as a white guy are you comfortable writing that 157 times or however many times it's said in the film?
Yeah.
And just the response was just so logical on that, and you're like, fair.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be prepared with a response when you're going to make a film like that. Like, if anybody else was to do it, like if we were to make a short film that had that word uttered once, we'd be crucified. But because Tarantino has an incredible team behind him as well, and he's already got such an incredible career behind him, and he's obviously an incredibly smart guy, whenever he gets those kind of answers, there's an absolute reason. And not only that, his casting, Jamie Foxx, Samuel L. Jackson... Samuel L. Jackson has been in most of his films, and has used colourful language, mind my language, essentially colourful language in all of those films. But nobody, has ever really looked at that from the perspective of why is a white guy writing that? It's fitting for the characters and the film that it is. So
Speaking of that concept, have you heard about when Leonardo DiCaprio on set of Django got uncomfortable with how many times he had to say it in one particular scene?
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, no, exactly. And essentially he was getting uncomfortable on that and needed a break. And Samuel L. Jackson came up to him and said, "Listen, motherfucker, this is a Tuesday for us. Get your fucking head in the game. This is Tuesday. We're actors. Fucking get your head in the game. Yeah. It's fine."
Imagine being Leo being the biggest actor in the world, and then Samuel Jackson, who he's just always been one of the greats.
Oh, yeah.
He just walks up, he's like, bitch, just do
he's
your
like, dude, job. It's a fucking job. Yeah. Toughen up, pussy.
That's right.
Simple as that, you know? But you hear that from a guy who's African-American telling you, it's fine. It's a fucking job. Do it, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And also, your other Mother Duck mentioned Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Of course.
I've been meaning to buy the box set
Oh, of course.
There's a box
works.
set of JB Hi-Fi of Alfred Hitchcock's box set because I've never actually watched them apart from studying them like in like film class back in high school.
Yeah,
and back in university when I studied literature and film. We watched like I think it was a bit of Psycho. And is it The Birds or something like that?
The Birds.
Yeah. And I haven't seen them since then, but we watched them as like a bit of a film study back when I did 6 months of university back in the day.
Oh, dude.
But I haven't seen them since, but I really need to sit down and actually pay attention to them.
No, absolutely. Yeah. They are fantastic. They are so good, man. The level of like the things that he put into film that became, such regular things for us to experience in film is just bonkers. It's just absolutely bonkers the things that he brought to mainstream culture, and not only that, I mean, you think about the list of films that he has that have been remade that people have no idea was a Hitchcock film, like something like Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's a Rear Window.
That's a great movie.
No, exactly. Like, and honestly, Disturbia ain't bad either. Wait, is that what you're talking about? Disturbia is a good movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm obviously talking about Hitchcock. So
Sorry,
Rear Window is fantastic.
As a remake, it's a great movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Mr. and Mrs. Smith
great
as well.
song too.
Yeah, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Rihanna?
Yeah.
Rihanna.
I say Rihanna.
Yeah, Rihanna. Yeah. Also, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. Wait, is that a
Hitchcock? Yeah.
Dude, exactly. There's so many great movies
That's what I mean.
Didn't know.
Exactly. But The Birds is one of those ones, man. You look at it, and it's cartoonishly terrible, the effects of The Birds.
In comparison to, like,
but you think about what it was and what time frame it was. It was a 1963 film.
Yeah.
But that concept, that whole concept, it's just fucking incredible, the amount of suspense you can have about birds. And that's the thing. And the only thing that I will fault about that film is the shit ending. It's a fucking terrible ending. But the whole film, though, is really fucking suspenseful. Right. And Hitchcock is one of those legends. Like, I can't say enough good things about Hitchcock. And
excellent.
Bonkers list. Definitely get that box set, man. Because there's still probably another 12 that I haven't seen that are classics, that's how many fucking classics he's got,
For sure. Well, moving on to the topic of horror directors, I do want to talk about one in particular before I get onto my double wide of the week is, so to speak, in terms of horror directors. But a director that started out his career making incredibly unique horror films, which turned into other things later on, Ridley Scott.
Tomb Raider?
What? Tomb Raider? Tomb Raider?
Yeah, no, the Tomb Raider. Can you get off this subject, please?
So Ridley Scott. Yeah, the original Alien film.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Ridley Scott, like lately, I mean,
that's what I said.
Yeah, his career is a bit up and down. Me personally, like most recently, he produced a series. Yeah, he produced. Where are you getting that from?
Lara Croft, Ridley Scott. What? I don't know. Don't talk to me about my brain. I don't get it either.
Okay,
I don't get it either. Please.
Okay.
Just move on.
I'm moving on. Anyway.
I'm gonna have to go. I hope there's some kind of fucking little link.
Yeah, anyway, Ridley Scott, I don't think there is, man.
Shut up.
Ridley Scott came out with like one of the best science fiction horror films of all time, Alien.
Yes.
Which spawned a crazy franchise off the top of that. But when you go back and watch it, like you look at it from the perception of, it's a science fiction space movie, but no, it's straight up horror, just set in space, and then Blade Runner, another absolutely popular film of his as well, which
of course. No, I'm listening.
Okay, but the reason that I thought about Ridley Scott when I googled a film earlier that I was thinking of, another film that's definitely a favorite of mine, Black Hawk Down.
Oh,
I was thinking of Michael Bay, then I thought Black Hawk Down wasn't Michael Bay, but they're similar. And no, it was Ridley Scott. But then you've got The Martian with Matt Damon a number of years ago. Gladiator.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
There's been speculation of a Gladiator sequel recently. I didn't look further into it. I don't know. Hey, Russell Crowe might actually get in shape this time.
Actually, I'm on Ridley Scott's page, and it does say in a announced producer credit, Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Why?
Money.
They saw him in Unhinged and went,
yeah, he can do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Or maybe he called him up and was like, I need a role that's going to make me pay for a fitness instructor.
I need to be threatened with my career on the line instead of having people say, hey, play a psychomaniac with heart issues and fat.
Yeah,
and
he's
like, done.
A few years before that, he played Jor-El in Man of Steel, Superman's dad, and he was fit as fuck in that movie.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, Rusty Crowe, we love you, man. But
imagine having that as your job. Like you get paid to like either be buff or just eat donuts. Like
just be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, what a life. fucking life.
Absolutely. But yeah, Ridley Scott is another good one, who's obviously massively famous for the films that he's created. But for me personally, a bit of a hit and miss in some aspects.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I mean, if we're looking for a connection between Tomb Raider and Ridley Scott,
I'm waiting for it, man.
The 2018 remake. Yeah. There's Kirsten Scott Thomas is in it. Okay, so we got Scott, and then apparently Deadline Hollywood reported that Daisy Ridley was considered for a role. So,
which was not proved by
a completely innocent mistake,
a completely valid connection, right?
Exactly. Okay. Never mind, one of the greatest fucking directors of the last 20 years.
Yeah, who directed Tomb Raider? Anyway,
exactly. I didn't. Maybe.
Yeah, anyway.
All right.
My last favourite director that I can think of off the top of my head until somebody reminds me of something else, Mike Flanagan.
Okay, a more modern one, which is good.
That's good. Right.
Yes, please, enlighten.
So if anybody has listened to this podcast before...
Tomb Raider.
Simple
as that, yeah.
Mike Flanagan is an amazing original director of The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, and also the Dr. Sleep remake. No, not remake. Sequel to The Shining, essentially.
Of course.
He's a very unique director in the way that every single project he's had, including of Absentia, Oculus, Hush is where I was introduced to him and his wife, Katie Segal. Of course, Kate Segal.
Yes, not that one.
Ouija, Origin of Evil as well. Gerald's Game, which is on Netflix.
Of course,
The dude has had an absolute killer career so far, but the thing I like most about his films, he's a lot like Paul Verhoeven in the way that every project he has, everything in terms of cinematography, directing and dialogue is very similar, but unique in a lot of ways. Like obviously Paul Verhoeven's got that science fiction action themes, obviously, so that's wildly different. But Mike Flanagan uses the same actors in every project with a few differences here and there. All playing different characters. And god damn it, everything that I've watched of his so far, I've thoroughly enjoyed. There hasn't been one miss. For me, for Mike Flanagan. So,
no. Yeah. And that's why I hate that people, and I mean the pun in this one, slapped on Dr. Sleep. Because Dr. Sleep, as we reviewed back in the archives a long time ago, that movie was actually fucking fantastic.
I reckon that movie would have been more successful, and it's weird to say this, but more successful if it came directly to Netflix.
Yeah, true, because when that came out, we were hugely just relying on box office numbers. And immediate critic response and box office numbers were just terrible for it. And we watched it and went, why? Why is this happening?
I think the critical response was good, but the box office didn't really bring it home. That's why I'm saying, because it came out at the same time. It was a failure
based off numbers, dollars wise.
I think it came out at a time when there was other bigger movies out there as well. So I think they were banking on it's just the Shining sequel. This might get bums in seats, and it really didn't. But I think,
that scared more people away than it brought in, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think if this was, it would have been, if it came to Netflix or something like that, primarily Netflix, because that's where his previous films have gone. I think it would have been a massive Netflix draw, and the numbers would have been massive, and it would have had a better reception. Although, because people would have been like, what is this film? Who is this director? And it would have been more accessible, and it would have blown up, rather than people going, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't really know who this director is. And, he just punches on with their microphones talking about Tomb Raider all the time.
Shut the fuck up. No, but you're completely right. Maybe that film would have been much more successful if it had waited a year.
Maybe.
If it had waited a year and gone through the pandemic and that and gone straight to a streaming service, good chance it might have been success, So, the Dynamic Joe. Christopher Nolan does the same thing. Does the same thing what?
I'm guessing the same movie each time?
Oh, yeah, if that's what we're talking. Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
That's not a slight on Chris Nolan. We know he's a magnificent director, but goddamn it, maybe they're talking about in terms of cinematic style, like Mike Flanagan, like Paul Verhoeven.
That's right, sticks to what he knows. Sticks to what he does well.
Yeah, that's right. You watch the Dark Knight trilogy, then you watch Tenet and you watch Inception. The colour tones, like the colour palettes, the acting, the dialogue is all very similar.
Yeah, one of the keys as well is the score. The score in all of his films. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, you watch. Yeah, the microphone talks about Mike Flanagan. No, yeah, absolutely. But no, Christopher Nolan is he's fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, and yes, that's why Hitchcock is so great. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, Jimmy.
Appreciate it. The Dynamic Joe, I see you in there. Thank you for popping in, with the Christopher Nolan. But did let us know, anybody else who is with us this evening, whilst we are still live, let us know who is your favourite directors and why, and what films are on that list of your favourite films.
And tell me why they did or did not direct Tomb Raider.
That's right, of course, yes. But I can't even think of who did direct Tomb Raider.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, that's a great... Have you ever seen Tomb Raider?
The original one, yeah. I remember watching it with ad breaks on NBN.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, I know, but that was the life we grew up with, Dylan. I know. Appreciate what we got. I just wrote Lara Croft in IMDb instead of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's not going to help you.
Yeah, Ridley Scott. All right. Yeah, no. So I'm just going to keep talking for a couple of more seconds because I didn't realize you were putting me on the spot looking for that answer.
I am putting you on the spot.
That's right. It's Simon West.
Don't know
Simon West. Now, we're going to find out live here right now what were you doing and what he is famous for.
I'm sure
he's most famous for Tomb Raider.
Oh, really? Is that correct?
No, and apparently Mechanic in 2011, Con Air. Con Air with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And also The General's Daughter. Big John Travolta film.
Another one who I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but definitely a popular one. Is it the Wachowski brothers or sisters now? Whoever who direct the Matrix trilogy.
They changed?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's the Wachowski brothers who directed the Matrix trilogy, and whoever they were, they have transitioned. And I'm just trying to. I can't remember their names now, but I know that they're obviously like massive.
Yes, Lana and Lily Wachowski.
That's right, the Wachowski sisters. Yeah.
All right, IMDb, you got to fix that because it still says in directors of the Matrix, Lana Wachowski, Lily Wachowski, and then in brackets both of them as the Wachowski brothers.
Really? They need to change that.
I guess it's in the credits as
it is now, for sure.
So, there you go. I did not know that they had transitioned, but they are fantastic at what they do as well.
For sure. Anyway, do we want to move on to a little bit of news unless you've got one more to go?
No, I mean, we could go back and touch on James Wan properly.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
let's touch on James Wan, of course. I mean, the humble beginnings with Saw, of course, and getting out of Melbourne and taking that over to the US and actually getting it funded and produced, which is fantastic for him. But from that, and him and Lee Winnell spawned a wonderful fucking career that they have cooking right now. But yeah, Saw into Dead Silence, into Death Sentence, into Insidious. I mean, into Insidious, The Conjuring, Insidious Chapter 2, Fast and Furious 7. I hate Fast and Furious.
I hate the Fast and Furious franchise,
of course. But he got that big role. He got that and actually put his name out there as hey, look what I can do. Bam, here comes Aquaman.
It's pretty wild.
You look at those roots and where he's come from and getting those big budget Hollywood ones. It's obvious that he is entrusted to direct those big feature films. But then, of course, we have coming later this year, Malignant. Yep. So he's getting back to his roots. So he's one to stick to something that, he's not abandoning where he came from, a la James Cameron.
Yeah. That's right. But the thing, the crazy thing about, James Wan is that, he's still a young dude. And he somehow built I don't know what that was. He still somehow built a career to be able to be hey, I've developed and built these franchises from the ground up that have had massive success and imitators over time. Yep. And he's now just, considered producer only of a lot of popular big films. We've got Annabelle, we've got Insidious Chapter 3, Lights Out, another one as well. A lot of these films where Mortal Kombat, Insidious 5, which has been directed by Patrick Wilson, but a lot of films where he's just I'm producer as well because I can sit back and oversee this project.
Oh no, exactly. I mean, just look at Insidious, The Conjuring, and Saw. Yeah, just those three franchises. How many more films have been spawned because of his imaginings? Yeah,
that's right.
Him and Lee Winnell. How many fucking count how many not just sequels but also what do you call them?
Spin-offs?
Yeah, spin-offs. Thank you very much.
Influenced by?
No. Yeah. Well, that too, you know, but as in, there would at least be probably about 25 films minimum that have come from just his directing vision. You know? So, I mean, you got to give him enough credit to that. Not just that, he's an Aussie done good.
Yep, absolutely.
As well, and him and Lee Winnell, it's nice to see that the team is still there, working together, and Lee's branched out.
Yeah.
And done his own thing now as well. And he's becoming a fantastic director himself.
That's right. Looking at the filmography of James Wan, the list isn't massive, but as I said, it's because he's young still. And he's got a massive career ahead of him still.
Dude, but I'm pretty sure his list is probably only a smidge smaller than Tarantino. And Tarantino's been around for this long, so I don't care if he only makes another 4 films.
That's true.
Every single thing that we get from him is gold.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, there are 2 things. Sorry, there is one particular film though that has me worried about the what's upcoming in his career, and it's not because he's the director. It's the reason I'm scared is because he's not the director. He is the producer of though, and that's The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a fan of Conjuring 1 and 2, more so Conjuring 1 because it set the staple of what horror films were expected to be for the next 5 to 10 years.
That's true.
And you see all of the other Conjuring spin-offs like The Nun, but The Conjuring 1 and 2 were magnificent films in their own right.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of a little bit worried about them returning to the Conjuring mainline story films. Film story, sorry. And then because he's just producing, that means he's basically given them permission to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I get that. And I understand why you're worried about that. But at the same time, I'm kind of content with him doing that because it's out of his hands at this point. Like, yes, he does have oversee of it, but he doesn't have creative control over it anymore. Yeah, it's a property that was spawned from him, but at the same time, it's fine. We're still getting Malignant.
That's what
we're still gonna. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. Like because we have Malignant on the way, where he is producer and director. I'm absolutely looking forward to that because it'll be coming directly from him. But most importantly, as well, Insidious 5.
Yes,
I love the Insidious franchise probably more so than the Conjuring franchise now.
Yes. And with the new director on board as well.
Patrick Wilson. Yeah, dude, I'm keen.
I'm more than happy with that, man. I absolutely love Patrick Wilson and the work that he does. And I think he's been around long enough to be able to helm this type of project, and still he's probably I'm all on board for that. So absolutely. James Wan has brought nothing but joy to Hollywood.
Yes.
Simple as that. Like that's all I have to say about James Wan. He's one of our boys. We absolutely love him. Fucking A.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. David F. Sandberg.
David F. Sandberg? That doesn't even ring a bell.
I was going to say, does that not ring a bell at all as a director? I swear you've talked about him in the past.
David F. Sandberg.
Yeah, because I'm looking at producer only roles for James Wan, and it says here director of Lights Out and Annabelle Creation.
Oh yeah,
2 pretty solid movies. But has David F. Sandberg, has he done a lot of? Oh, you know who we should talk about?
Okay,
Ari Aster. Ari Aster.
Oh, that is a good one. Yes, we will jump on that. Now, looking at David F. Sandberg, F. Yeah, I've got it right. F. He has done a lot of short films, but he has done Lights Out, Shazam, and I Flip You Off for Horses and Annabelle Creation.
I Flip You Off for 4 hours as a short film. Yeah,
I read Horses, but I've never seen it.
Neither have I. Yep. Okay, no, never mind. Don't worry about that. But Ari Aster has done some pretty wild fucking films. But let's have a quick look at that just to remind myself exactly what he's done.
No. Of course, we have Midsommar. Of course, Hereditary.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but god damn it, those films have left an impact.
Exactly. Actually, that is literally it at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Literally, he has 2 feature films. That's it. The rest are short films. So he could be in the same boat potentially in the next 5 years as a Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Like where he does what he does and he does it well, but he does it in small amounts.
Yeah.
He's not out there fucking whoring himself out, you know? Like Ari Aster is one he's going to be around for a while.
Another one that I want to talk about in the exact same vein as Ari Aster, and that is Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers, okay.
Yeah. The Witch.
Oh, yes.
And most recently, as I've reviewed on this podcast channel, on YouTube, wherever it may have been.
Of course. Willem Dafoe.
The Lighthouse. William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Of course.
I recently watched a film. It was like a direct-to-DVD style film on Amazon Prime called Cold Skin.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much just The Lighthouse, but with actual like alien creature type beings. And it sucked.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch a film, if you want to watch a movie about people who live on a lighthouse in like the early like 1900s or late 1800s, where they pretty much have to live there and be isolated for 12 months.
Oh yeah.
And they go crazy and weird things happen. Just watch The Lighthouse. That movie is absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
But he's only done 2 things. The next one on the way is The Northman, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, but him and Ari Aster can be on the same list right now as well. Like as in big time. Like they're not on the hit list yet. They're on the watch list. The 2C3 Pod watch list. Ari Aster.
If they get 3 out of 3 successes, they're on the hit list for sure.
No, 100%. Especially with their age as well. You know, being so young. Like that's the thing, and it's crazy to think about like somebody in beginning of a career being young for being like 36.
I know, right? Yeah.
But in the world of Hollywood, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So no, absolutely. Robert Eggers and Ari Aster. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye out for them. 100%. If we do, who is your favorite director in 10 years? They could be there with like 6 hits, you know, like
they could have nothing.
Plenty of time.
Nothing but absolute bangers. But we'll see. But do you have any more that you can think of? Another great one over the years. Sorry, that we can both agree with. George A. Romero.
Oh, how could we forget? Absolutely. I mean, the godfather of zombies.
Yes, absolutely.
George A. Romero is he's just a fucking legend.
Yeah. Not everything was great, but in his heyday, it was all great.
Even if it wasn't, of course.
And but the reason I say that is because Diary of the Dead was kind of shit.
Yeah, I know. I pre-ordered that shit and waited months for it and got it on DVD, and I was like, oh, really? Why'd you do that? You know, but no, I mean, how can you fault him for literally pioneering an entire fucking genre? Yeah. You know, like that's still around today and as popular as ever, you know? Like
he's got such an iconic look too. Like
those thick rimmed glasses, absolutely. But something being the godfather of zombies, and I mean, you're talking about like there's still The Walking Dead on TV. Yeah. And it has been for over a decade. That shit would not exist without him.
No, that's right.
So you've got to take into account that like literally that he pioneered not just that genre, but that genre and all of its subgenres and like just the idea of that.
The idea of cinematic zombies.
Yeah, exactly. And making it not just, popular and that, but commercialized as well. Yeah. And actually made money off this disgusting, grotesque concept that people, got behind. So, you can't go against George A. Romero. I mean, if we're talking horror, I mean, like, there's plenty more that we could touch on if we just wanted to pad the rest of the episode.
I mean, I'm happy to do so for horror films, man.
Talking about horror films, but, dude, I mean, not horror, but Scorsese.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Don't tell me you've been, because of his amusement park comments.
No, not at all. I understand what he means by that.
We've discussed that in depth in the archive.
That's right. 100%. No, I'm not saying, I don't disagree with you with being one of the most, famous directors. It's just, I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 films of his.
Exactly. Unfortunately, no, I understand what you're saying there, because you still haven't seen Goodfellas.
Oh, Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Goodfellas.
Oh, okay, right. I'm thinking Godfather, right.
Godfather, yeah.
Well, Goodfellas, fucking amazing.
Goodfellas is like, you watch that movie and you're just like, man, even if you're not a smoker, you watch Goodfellas and you watch Ray Liotta and you're like, God damn it, he's just the coolest motherfucker on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I know, but, Joe Pesci, I mean...
There's a great story about Joe Pesci intimidating the fuck out of Ray Liotta in that bar scene where they're like...
Oh, yeah, where he's like, am I funny guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
so
that was unscripted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, no, exactly. And Paul Ray Liotta's like, Well, you see it on camera and it's fucking fantastic. Like, Joe Pesci makes him shit himself. It's so good. Yep. But all of that, I mean, that's all Joe Pesci, that's all Ray Liotta. I get that. Yeah. But that's still being directed by him,
Yes,
so you can never not have a best director list and not have him in at least the top 20, I'd say, honestly.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you haven't seen Taxi Driver, have you?
I was about to say, I'm looking at his filmography now, and yes, the films of his that I have seen, Wolf of Wall Street, Shutter Island, Aviator, Goodfellas, The Color of Money, which is a strange one because that's where the name Doom came from, that fucking film.
There you go.
There's everything that I have seen of Martin Scorsese, I have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I've watched all these films far and few between, apart from Goodfellas. Goodfellas is the one I've watched the most. But looking at these other films on here that I've heard of, especially Taxi Driver.
Yes.
I know I'm a huge fan. Obviously, everybody who's watched this, I'm a huge fan of Joker.
Yes,
and that's pretty much just a remake of Taxi, apparently. We've talked about it.
No.
Taxi Driver.
We have.
Taxi Driver is one that I definitely do want to check out, and I've been meaning to. I just need to sit down and fucking do it.
I absolutely.
The Irishman, get that shit out of here.
It's unfortunate because I get it and I see it and I'm like, this is brilliant. It's so good. It's cinematic gold, but why did I just have an hour and a half nap and I'm still up to speed?
Turn it into a series or condense it into a film.
But it's crazy because, as in, you can see how good it is and you understand how good it is and how much of a masterpiece it is. Yeah. But then you look at Goodfellas, and Goodfellas, if I'm not mistaken, is like 2 hours and 50 minutes. But that shit fucking flows. That just cruises along and you don't even notice.
And it's a similar story of a man a rise to power, the height of his fame, and then dies out at the end.
Exactly.
Same sort of story.
Exactly. So it's so hard to judge what went wrong with The Irishman because I know it's great. Yeah. But there's just something about it that just doesn't hook you in.
There's just too much of it, I think. If you just spent the time condensing the story.
No, but that's what I mean. What's the difference? You know what I mean?
There's just too much movie.
Yeah. Yes, but either way, Scorsese has to be on any best director list 100% of the way. Yeah.
Do you have any others?
Oh, just stop putting me on the spot. I'm trying to bring something to the table.
I'm trying to think of them, but you kind of stumped me on this one.
Horror.
Well, I'm just trying to think back into like some of the popular horror films of.
Okay. Well, no. I mean, we've got The King, Darcy, in comment.
The King. Welcome in, my friend. Zack Snyder.
Okay. Yes, we will talk about Zack Snyder, but we will not address the back end of that because I don't think that's fair to say at all.
Okay.
What, you do?
Context. Give us some. It's a podcast about discussing film and TV. So
no, exactly. Well, we have somebody's opinion, and I think it's sarcasm.
Oh, okay. Potentially. Well, we'll see.
Do you think that Zack Snyder is the greatest director of all time?
No.
Thank you.
But I do think he is an absolute visionary and a master of cinematic special effects.
I will never doubt the ability that he has and what he has done.
A great director will have amazing visual representation of his idea, which is what Zack Snyder does.
Yes.
But a great director also, who am I to say what a fucking great director is? I'm just some white dude in a fucking room doing a podcast with another white dude.
Don't know why you have to bring up that we're white.
I always see the memes of like, hey, if you're a white dude in your 20s, start a podcast. You know, I saw a meme the other day saying, saying, do you want to start a podcast is the same as, hey man, do you want to start a band, but like modern times?
My God, it is.
I was like, wow, I've done both of those things.
Yeah, well, you did it in 2 different decades.
I did.
So you literally like did the early, like the 2000s, the 10s.
I am the epitome of that stereotype.
Yeah, you really are. Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah. All right. Talking about Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but okay, he's not the greatest of all time.
No.
Okay, but he is, like you said, a visionary for what he does.
Yes.
And when you're feature film directing debut is one of the best, if not the best, horror remake of all time. You are set in stone as a pioneer.
Was that his directing debut?
100%.
It was? Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Feature film directing debut.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what we're talking about. Yes. All he did before that was video shorts. Yeah.
Okay. So, fair enough. Oh, it was. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
All right, let's read this list out. And this, you might.
Okay, so it may be a sarcastic comment, Darcy, the king in chat. It may be a sarcastic comment and we may laugh at it, but.
Just going back to the Michael Bay comment we made earlier in the episode.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's read through his directing resume.
Mm-hmm.
Zack Snyder from start to finish. Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. 300. Masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Watchmen. I like it, but a lot of people are on the
but
fence.
it's not my type of film, and you know
Fair
that.
enough.
So, but I understand its appeal.
Legend of the Guardians, that fucking animated owl movie.
Oh,
that movie is amazing.
Yeah, right. Okay,
fully CG. Sucker
job.
Punch.
Yeah,
it's not a great
visuals.
That's what I'm saying. Storyline, but visually stunning. Then Man of Steel, retrospectively, is fine. And then we move on to this is where things start to fall flat a little bit.
Yeah, we just had him say, I was joking, by the way, like in chat. Yeah. But yes, we get it. But at the same time, though, like
that's the purpose of doing this live, right?
Exactly. That's right. That fucking list, though. I mean, that's not bad. We wouldn't have spoken about him if you didn't put that sarcastic comment. And then we look at it closely, and you did just reference that you had just joined us. Earlier on, we referenced something that Tyler Gunn put on our comment on our Instagram, 2C3pod on Instagram, and said about Michael Bay. And we were like, haha, that's silly. But the logic behind it was pretty much flawless.
Yeah.
You look at quantity of films that you've enjoyed by that particular director as opposed to, Scorsese, like as in you've only seen a limited amount. So like you've seen 3 brilliant Scorsese films. Might have seen 6... might have seen about 6 brilliant Michael Bay films, and you talk about the quantity over that. So, we're using that same method here. Zack Snyder's pretty fucking high on that list.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear that in the Twitch stream, but the software, I forgot to remove the exit sound, and course. That's why it was playing. But you won't hear that in the podcast later on. This is going to be edited out.
No, that's fine. But no, what if you did hear that soundbite? That's the turn Dylan's face into a tomato soundbite, and it's worked brilliantly. Look at that, folks. Yes, he's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah. Anyway, so I missed exactly what you were talking about there because this.
No. I was just explaining the Michael Bay concept of looking at great directors versus like Zack Snyder, like that kind of comparison. So yeah,
absolutely. There was another one I had thinking of. Actually, just on the back of Zack Snyder, and then we continue on, and that's where he starts to fall flat. We've got BVS: Dawn of Justice, and then we have Justice League, sort of, kind of. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks when we finally get it. Army of the Dead, which is a Netflix movie coming out very soon.
Yes, of course, with Batista.
That's right. It's not even out yet.
Nope.
And it's already got like a producer credit for Army of the Dead prequel.
Really?
Yeah, TBA. So 2023 or 24.
Jesus
perhaps.
Christ! So they've already signed on for a sequel already.
But he's not directing apparently. He's just a producer. So we'll see.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah. Anyway, what else do we have in the chat there? Do we have any more? So we've got a comment about. I'm going to say this, and I've only just joined on it. Peter Jackson. What do you know about Peter Jackson?
I know Lord of the Rings trilogy and Bad Taste.
And King Kong with Naomi Watts.
Right. Yeah, was that Skull Island?
No, this was 2005.
Yeah, but he lives on an island.
It had
a skull.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. The King Kong video game that came out, it's a first-person shooter of all things.
Really?
It's fucking magnificent, dude. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter Jackson is one that kind of flies under the radar personally, but I think is one of the best directors because he has produced some of the best films of all time, being the Lord of the Ring trilogy, which will come out back to our local cinemas, Event Cinemas. I got the email today. They're putting on the Lord of the Rings trilogy if you want to check that out, if you're here in Newcastle.
I could use a good sleep.
Do you not like those films?
Snap. I like them the one time and the one time only I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to watch them again.
No, fair enough.
A little bit too draggy for me.
I get you. But I love those films. I don't even really like medieval themed things, but I just love Lord of the Rings movies. They're great.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah.
But another one that the King in chat, Darcy, has mentioned as well is District 9, Neil Blomkamp.
Yes.
I wouldn't consider him one of the greats, but going back, we're not talking about the greatest, are we? We're talking about our favourite.
Exactly, that's right. Oh my god.
We just
spent this whole episode being dicks.
We did.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to anybody. I mean, poor Jimmy fucking jumped in there with that Italian director and we were like, we don't know him. Shut up. My god, we are assholes. Yeah, okay. Neil Blomkamp, yes, we discussed recently. For District 9.
Yeah.
And 18 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Neil Blomkamp.
No, that's just because the South African guy's in it.
No, Tomb Raider.
Fuck you. Ridley Scott classic.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm happy to
throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
Throw it in the bin. Anyway, so Neil Blomkamp. Dude has so much potential. And the King in chat.
Thanks.
Have you seen the Oates Studio short films that he's done? They're all available on YouTube, but you can buy them on Blu-ray.
You mentioned that well over 12 months ago.
Absolutely magnificent short films which deserve feature-length films of their own. But dude, I was so fucking excited. Cheers for the hydrate, Poopy Bunholio. Welcome in, Siege.
Yeah, Siege. How you doing?
I was absolutely fucking stoked when Neil Blomkamp announced that he was doing Robocop because he is perfect for fucking Robocop. I mean, fucking Chappie, to say what you want about that film in terms of its story and the inclusion. We talked about this last week or the week before.
Yes, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, with the inclusion of that fucking dumb rap group. What are they called again? I can't remember.
Yeah, but he's not doing Robocop now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry, you were getting to that point. I'm like, he's spending way too much time talking about how he's doing it.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he did Elysium and then, like, did a District 9 and then Elysium and then...
Chappie.
And then Chappie.
And that's it.
That's
all he's done feature film-wise.
Yeah, if he was to come back and do Robocop with his cinematic filmmaking style, it would have been magnificent. But unfortunately, MGM just decided to pull the rug out from under him and give it to somebody else, and I'm looking forward to that, but still.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's unfortunate, but yeah, we do have Demonic to look forward to, finally returning to feature film.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm definitely keen on that. And apparently District 10, which we've talked about recently, he's finally announced.
Still nothing on IMDb, so I'm not letting that one slip through the cracks as a real thing.
You were like, you don't think he's doing it? I was like, probably call bullshit on that one.
Yeah. No,
he tweets a lot. That's all I'm saying. Like, he tweets things and gets people hyped and then they never happen.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can't buy people who do that.
Yeah, that's
I can't buy liars.
Yeah.
I can't buy fraudsters. Can't buy you swindling kids. I don't know, man. I got some grudges.
You do, yeah. Anyway, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite director. He directed the Chicago Bears. Did you not see that? I don't think anyone did.
See, no. No, go fuck yourself. Darcy, fuck off, mate. Like, dead set, no. Anyway, I think that'll just about do us for this week.
Oh, well, if you've got... Dylan? You're trying to get out of here early, are you? You're trying to clock off early, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm a little bit mad. I got some grudges. I didn't even know that comment was there, and I just addressed that I had grudges. I still got them.
while we're still here for the end of the episode, does anybody have any more that they want to throw at us? What are your favourite film directors before we do wrap this up?
Mr. Poopy Bung Holio?
Yeah, absolutely. What a legend. Welcome in, my friends. But yeah, I think
I love you too, Darcy.
Even though we've had a few people who finally comment on this channel, it is time to wrap it up.
Oh, now he's going to wrap it up. Oh, God.
Unless you've got more.
No. I was ready to leave 30 seconds ago, but I was mad about Patrick Mahomes still.
Okay.
I will forever be bitter about that.
Well, to end the episode on a sour note.
Oh, not at all.
You can certainly find us on social... on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2C3Pod. Just search the links everywhere. You can find us everywhere. All of that.
Absolutely. Clean as a whistle, John.
Clean as a whistle.
And of course, make sure wherever you're listening to the podcast, make sure it's on your preferred platform where you're available. On all of them, just search 2C3Pod. But of course, cliche slogan,
Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big Summer Blyer. If you do want to support the show as well, additionally, you can find us over on TeePublic and Redbubble and Teespring. You can get yourself a t-shirt if you want. But most importantly, Patreon.
Oh, Patreon, that's right, where we have changed our tiers to just be one singular tier.
That's right.
One $2 tier will get you all of the bonus stuff, automatic entry to all giveaways, early episodes. You can tell us what you want to hear over there, and I'm already gearing up for the big fucking swearing because it's coming. Yes, you can tell us what you want to hear over there on Patreon. Be the boss of what we do, and most importantly, get yourself a shout out as well. Now, this list is, I believe, I'll shout out that extra one that's in there that I think has gone missing because they deserve it.
What?
Okay, anyway, you get yourself a shout out. We have Alice Reddit, of course, Courtney Harris, 1001, Mother Duck, and Dodgy Blade. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate you guys greatly, and head on over there and tell us what you want to hear.
Absolutely.
But on top of all of that as well, we do have PayPal. ChooseCompany3podcast@gmail.com if you want to flick us 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1 million. Any of those dollary dues go straight back into the podcast to help us keep doing this for you.
That's right. If you want to keep the lights on, we definitely definitely greatly appreciate all that support is what I was trying to say. Anyway, new podcast episodes every single week, released on all of your favorite podcast platforms every Thursday morning. But if you do want to witness it early, head to twitch.tv/2C3Pod live where you are right now, all that's listening. And if you're listening to this later on, head to that channel. Links are all down below in any...
Slap a follow on there.
Yeah, slap a follow on there and you'll be notified when we go live. Make sure you hit us up. But also...
Just make sure to check your phone, Siege.
Absolutely. Make sure you check those notifications. But that'll be our weekly topic of the question this week. Let us know in the comments on YouTube, everywhere else, who was your favourite or who is some of your favourite film directors of all time. But sometimes we'll have other news topics, you know, the 2C3 pack.
Yes.
We've got the news, what we've watched at home, dad jokes, and so much more.
That's right, exactly. And make sure to head on over to YouTube for original content every single week, including DTC, Trailer Park, and so much more as well. Just this week, we had a fresh Trailer Park. Last week, we had a DTC for Boss Level. Go and check that out. And then we had a Trailer Park before that. But not only that, all of the episodes that you see live on Twitch, the stream, they're there as well. So head on over there, make sure to subscribe, ring that bell, do all that jazz. We will love you for it.
Absolutely. If you do want to watch some rage-inducing video game content, you can certainly find me on twitch.tv/Dylan2C3Pod.
That's right. Exactly. And of course, to make sure to follow this channel, twitch.tv/2C3Pod Live.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a wonderful evening of 2C3Pod as always. My name is Dylan, and with my co-host,
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast. Bye.